Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to There Is No Death. And this was an interesting one. Swami Anubhavananda. So, in I guess my normal mind, I suppose, I'm like, there's no death. What? How can you say such a thing when obviously it's all around us? But I'm curious as to what it has to say, but I understand it from, in terms of Vedanta's perspective, for sure. So anyways, give me a quick second real quick. Alright, let's go and get started.
Everything happens only in the mind. The total life is lived only by the mind. If the mind is no more taking the shape and the form of the body, there is no body who is enjoying or suffering. For example, when someone is in coma, that time the life is lived, but there is no body. And therefore, a person in a comatose condition doesn't suffer. It is the other people who have to pay their fees, they suffer. Because those who are paying, they are somebody. The person in coma is nobody. So, whatever we think ourselves that we are, if we think that we are unfortunate, yes, you are unfortunate. If you think you are happy, you are happy. It's only what we take ourselves to be. It is something like this. Kids were playing home, and brother, husband asked the sister, wife, give me something to eat. And sister, wife gives. Take, this is yesterday's leftover vegetable and a piece of bread. Eat. So the brother says, the brother husband, you are not giving me anything, only you are imagining and telling, take this. So why don't you imagine, take Rasagulla and Rabdi? Friends, we are all living our life only in images. It's a very simple rule. If you think that you are unfortunate, you are unfortunate. If you think that you are a wife and therefore you are suffering, you cannot stop suffering. If you think you are a body, therefore you are young, old, you will be young, old and die also. If you think you are a soul, you will go to hell and heaven. It's only in our thinking what we take ourselves to be. So why not we take ourselves to be the divine? All the scriptures tell us, you are divine. Nobody told us you are a body. And yet we hold on to that, I am the body. Therefore, when Ashtavakra gave in the first chapter the truth about one's life, and as a result, this great student, Janak Ji Maharaj, he said, Aho niranjana shanto bodho ham prakrute paraha etavantamaham kalam mohe naiva vidambitaha. Oh God, I have been deluded by my own foolishness. See, people are not miserable because they are mad. They are miserable because they are foolish. See? There was a person who went to a hospital, mental hospital, to meet his relations. And after everything was done, so when he was coming back, somebody has removed all the four nut bolts of one front wheel. Wheel was there, somebody has removed them. So when he just wanted to check everything is okay and he saw bolts are missing, he was frustrated. Oh God, what do I do? He started talking to himself, being nearest to the mental hospital. What do I do? I don't know why people do like this. How will I go? And there was one man walking after the dinner. He said, what happened? Why are you shouting at nobody? He said, somebody has taken away the bolt. How will I go home now? He said, don't shout. take out one bolt from other three, fix there and go. Come on, you are a damn genius. Who are you? He said, I am a mad person in this asylum. He said, no, how can you be mad? He said, look here, I got a photo ID. I am legalized and authenticated mad. But how did you tell this? He said, because I am not a fool. Being mad is different. Being fool is different. देखो महाराज. So, mohe naiva vidambitaha. We are all miserable because of this error of judgment. What you take yourself to be? There is one text in Mahabharata, and in that text it is very clearly proved. There is no death. Nobody ever dies. If you think properly. If you don't think properly, you will die every moment. When I was a child, I was dying to become grown up. When I was grown up, I was dying to get a good job. When I got a good job, I was dying to get married. When I got married, I was dying to have children. When I got children, I was dying to get them educated. When they got educated, I was dying to get them married. When they got married, by that I became 65 years. Then I came to know I never lived. I was only dying.
I guess this with the list, what he's saying here, I can make a little bit of a comment. It's all a matter of perspective. I mean, if you had a good job, a good wife, a good children, that is a very good life. You aren't dying per se. It's all a matter of perspective, kind of like how he said in the very beginning, where it's if you think you're suffering, you're suffering. So throughout this entire process of him dying to grow up, to get a job, to get married, that was his mentality. So if you're saying, I can't wait to be happy when I get married, I got married, now I'm happy. So you can be saying happy to do this, happy to do that. Everything, of course, external here. But then your perspective is, oh, every time I was getting happier and happier because I was happy that I'm married. I was happy I got a good job. I was happy to have kids. I'm happy my kids are happy because they're married. You know, if you change the perspective from dying to happy, then it changes the story. So it is a matter of, at least from this one, especially what he said earlier, it's the perspective of how you see your life. If you only see your life as suffering, then you will suffer. If you only see your life as dying, then you will be dying. But if you see your life in a joyful or happy manner, then you'll be happy. Or divine, as he said a little bit earlier as well. You know, you don't have to suffer life per se. It's all, and I do believe this too. Like when he said a little bit earlier about how, essentially, is how, God, I wish I could rewind the video. I don't want to. It's a lot of it is in terms of perspective and how the mind is. Interestingly enough, but yes.
See, friends, there is no death. It's only out of foolishness we suffer. So, mohe naiva vidambitaha. Because who am I? Niranjanaha, Shantaha, Prakrutehe Paraha. Niranjana, uncontaminated, untouched by anything. These are not words, friends. This is the experience. Only we have to change our focal length. When we go to the doctors, they don't give us vision. They help us in adjusting our focal length because our eye muscles have become weak. In the same manner, change your focal length and you will see a different world.
I guess this is very similar to what I just said about your perspective in life.
And changing this focal length is the purpose of study of scriptures. So, Niranjanaha, I am untouched by anything. Now find out it is truth or just a word. This is what is called a spiritual practice. So take any color and form. Is the vision influenced by the colors and forms? No. Aham niranjanaha. I am untouched. Take the mind. Whatever thoughts come and go, good and bad, the mind remains untouched. See, the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, and samadhi person, four of them, they come and go. Waker came with the waking world and disappeared. I am the same. Dreamer came with the dream world and disappeared. I am the same. Deep sleeper came and disappeared. I am the same. Childhood has come and gone. I am the same. See, friends, Niranjanaha, only change your focal length. To what this Niranjanaha, untouched, uncontaminated, is mentioned. It is not something above the clouds. It is your own being. Even if you want, you cannot die. See, friends.
It's a bit of a harsh way to say that. I mean, not harsh, but it could seem disturbing. I understand what he means, but for people who don't follow, Advaita Vedanta, which I don't know why they, come watch any of these videos anyway, but, well, I mean, maybe. I mean, there's no death. That's quite a claim to make, uh, whether you follow Advaita Vedanta or not. It's just there are people out there who are obsessed with death or obsessed with how to live longer or whatever. So this could be a video they find. You cannot die. Quite a claim to make, though. Understand he's talking about your true self and not the body. The body dies. I know he would say that too, that the body dies and the mind dies, the brain dies, but your true self doesn't die. I wish you would clarify that though. For those who do not understand what he's trying to say there. Because again, as much as I don't think you should necessarily be careful with your words, because you generally speaking, you have an intent and a message to send. If someone misinterprets that, it's because they don't know you, they don't understand you. So, for example, like again, the statement, there is no death. If you don't know anything about Advaita Vedanta, you're like, well, this dude's a fool. There is death, obviously. But if you know Advaita Vedanta and you know that he's a teacher of that, then you know what he's talking about, that there is no death. So, but at the same time, like I said earlier, I don't know if anyone who doesn't follow that would necessarily listen to anyone who teaches these things. I mean, maybe this is the thing that gets people into Advaita Vedanta or something, Who knows? Possibility and opportunities are very much endless with any statement out there. There is no death. People will come all of a sudden flocking to watch this video just because of this, because they're obsessed with death, and then they see this video and maybe perhaps understand what he's saying. Maybe they took it entirely the wrong way. You can't help how people take things. You can only hope that they further research and what he means by these things. But you can't help people. I mean, they take it for as it is. Maybe they do research, maybe they don't. People are different.
See, friends. And this is so simple, effortless as for the water to adapt to any shape. Put the water in a petri dish, water is comfortable. Put it in a test tube, water is comfortable. Put it in a capillary tube, water is comfortable. But if you take the ice, which is nothing but the water. So ice is a personality, a color, a size, a shape, separateness, multiplicity. Water is one. Now, what sadhana this eyes has to do? Give up the hardness of your personality. Be attentive. Spiritual life is not becoming someone special. Giving up all specialities. And when we come to a point, nothing can be further given up. That is what you are. Niranjanaha.
Oh, real quick with that last statement, that's actually pretty nice. Once you've given up everything and you can't give up anymore, then that's what you are. Because you cannot give up yourself, but you can give up all these other attributes and identities. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. You cannot give up who you are, but you can give up all these identities and attributes that are attached to you. And once you give those all up, you find out who you are and you no longer are attached. That's kind of like that actually. So anyway, that's my reaction to There Is No Death. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.